news reporter program at Morehouse College. I actually got the chance to learn how to ask for stories, learn how to edit. And in my last year, I actually got a chance to become one of the lead reporters. So that's where my leadership role actually kind of went off. So that's where it kind of got started.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Well, how did you become passionate and involved in film design?
It actually started my sophomore year of college. I did an internship in my hometown, and I actually got to follow behind the TV director. It was a small town, but he did all of the shooting and editing for all the community events, parades, city halls, and things of that nature. So I actually got a chance to develop my own nonprofit video that it was called Charity for Kids. And I got a chance to actually interview some of the people of that program. And what they do is they help kids with autism, tutoring, after school programs, being able to learn and grow in this world. And I had a chance to interview, I had to edit, I had to direct, and I had to shoot. So that was just another way of how I kind of fell in love with it, because I was telling my own story. And that kind of skyrocketed my passion into today and why I do the things I do today.
Okay, wow.
Your faces are killing me, bro.
Oh, you kind of cool, man. I never knew all that. That's what it been.
Yeah. That was when I left Morehouse. I actually had an internship, and I was able to study him and do it. I still got the project. You gotta, if I remember, I'll send it to you. It's pretty dope.
Yes, please do. Third question: what are your core values and how are they reflected in your practice?
Okay, so some of my core values are obviously, for my first one is having respect. When you're working with your team, actually, it's funny that you mentioned that because we just had a meeting about it. But when you're with your team, you always have to have respect in not only from as the leader to the recipients, but also as in between members. A lot of leaders will try to win over the hearts of their team, but if their team's not working together, nothing will get done. And I've realized that respect is a core value for me because as a Black man, I have to earn that in today's society, unfortunately. So as a child, my parents always told me to make sure I do, make sure your clothes are ironed, make sure you represent yourself well, make sure you look the right way, because those items will gain you respect. And the big tech companies or, the CEO positions that you're trying to interview for, all of that stuff. So that's one of my biggest core values. Another one I would say, which is not really a core, but it's more of just like my personality, is just, being nice and genuine to one another. A lot of times when you have people who come into the office, they will, you never know what's going on with somebody or if somebody's going through something. So it's always important to come with a smile, compliment them. That may turn their whole day around. And I understand that it's funny because it reminds me of the Jordan documentary that I played last year during quarantine, and how they would do certain activities together, kind of bonding with one another, because those are things that can help you in the long run when you're finishing a project at 3 a.m. and it's got to get sent out the next day. So I would say leadership, and I would say also just genuine kindness towards one another. That'll get you to where you need to be as a team.
Absolutely, yes. I can wholeheartedly agree. Well, going off of that, what is your design process? This can include design thinking, visualization, realization, storyboarding, stuff like that.
Okay. So for me, I'll break it down like editing a video. That's not being, it can come in two ways. The first way is I'm being told these instructions. If do this, do that, and I can remix it. But how I start my own design process is thinking about what do I want to achieve in this clip or movie. For example, if I'm doing a YouTube video for a business and they tell me they want to make sales, my first idea or the first thing that comes into my mind is how can I make sales for others? How can I be able to bring their product or bring their brand out? So a lot of times I'm a writer, so I'm a visual writer. So a lot of times I kind of write down in my notebook, okay, I want to do this first. I want to do that first. And then I would go over to my MacBook and go into Premiere, which is an editing software system, and say, okay, the first clip I want to, usually they'll send me a large clip of like an interview or, whatever, and you just chop up the pieces. Okay, from the 30-second mark to the 50-second mark, I like this part. Or from the minute mark to minute 30 mark, I like this part. And you're just puzzling that stuff together until it sounds smoothly. A lot of times you get people who get stuck on that motive of I have to have everything that this company or this person is giving me in order to grow my own idea. And it's not, you don't have to do that. You just cut it up and you bring out the parts that you want to make it work for you. It's almost like a sandwich. You cut up the first end, you cut up the second end, you take the meat out, or you pull this side, you pull this source from this company, pull that source from that company. But a lot of just visual storyboarding. Scene one, I want to do this. Scene two, I want to do this, and so forth. And that's what kind of creates the project that I want for my design.
Wow. Okay. Thank you. Then I think you also answered this a bit. How do you collaborate with other individuals to realize your impactful work?
One way that I collaborate is first off by just doing some icebreakers. It's a lot of times, a lot of offices go into work, and a lot of times we don't get to know the other person that we're working with. So being able to have an icebreaker, get to know one another, even if we don't like each other, we know that, hey, he likes this, she likes that, and so forth. And then I would go into, okay, what is our goal as a group? What do we want to accomplish together? Because a lot of times the mistake that is made is that we don't really get a chance to collaborate. The idea is lost. I'll say it like that. The idea is lost. And a lot of times it's like, from my alma mater, one band, one sound. So a lot of times you have to realize, okay, do all of my team members and teammates know what the main idea is? And it's cool because you get to see everyone else's perspective about, okay, our main idea is this, but we're going to make a left instead of a right. Everyone's so creative in what they do. You can have 1,000 different ways of how to get the job done.
Absolutely. And then, in your opinion, where is design going? What is the future of design?
Man, the future of design is going bright, especially with the editing programs and technology that we have now versus what we had, in the pre-1990s, 1980s era. A lot of companies are being more, what's the word? They're being more, they're evolving more, having advertisements and things like that on cars, taxis. I mean, even I remember for a new student fair that I went to one of my years in school, they actually have QR codes on their table. So all you have to do is just take your phone, scan the QR code, and sign up. So a lot of companies and brands, when they're thinking about designs, they're creating more ways to reach different people. And it's really, really dope because a lot of times you get people who are stuck on how to grow their brand or stuck on how to design it. And a lot of times it takes just going into a editing program. And the cool thing about it is they made it really affordable for college kids, older people to use it. And with YouTube and other sources like that, you can be able to learn it instantly.
Oh, wow. Okay, thank you. I didn't know that either. Then what are the biggest challenges you face currently?
The biggest challenges I face, I think the biggest one for me is being able to get comfortable. And what I mean by comfortable is being able to get into your design flow. A lot of times I'm an overthinker, so a lot of times I think an idea is great and I scrap it, then I look at it again like, you know what, it's not that bad. So a lot of times I have that back and forth process of where I'm thinking like, okay, I'm gonna go left, it's gonna go this way. If I'm gonna go right, it's gonna go this way. And then you get the opinions of other people. So you kind of, okay, well, Joe said that this doesn't sound right, but Mary said if I go left, I'll be good. A lot of times I deal with learning how to be comfortable with my own idea, but also accepting feedback. Because a lot of times people accept all of their feedback. I filter it. And a lot of times I don't I struggle with filtering the right and wrong information. I just want to be able to make sure that whatever I say or whatever my idea is, that it gets out in the right way.
Absolutely. And then the final question will be, what advice would you give to a young student?
Um, Learn and grow as much as you can. I think the biggest regret that I had that I did not do my first 2 years of college is really be able to just grow myself and grow in things that I didn't even know I would like, or things that I might not even be interested in. A lot of times it just takes a push from that student to be able to join this club or learn how to edit this program or code. A lot of that stuff that is needed in today's world, that'll launch their career, is what is needed. And all it takes is a small step of curiosity to be able to um, try this or try that. You can't be afraid of not trying new things. Get out of that comfortable mindset that you have.